Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Lee Grant. Today we are continuing our project on learning Java, and in specific we are now getting to the point where we have these route handlers and we're able to ping them. But I'm trying to figure out, okay, well, I know in Express and Node.js, these routes normally serve it or like render some kind of EJS file. So what is the equivalent of that in Java? So I went over and now the Copilot is talking about MVC, Model View Controller. So that's where we kind of left off. So model is representing the logic and business, or yeah, the data and business logic of my application. The view, this seems like the EJS part, right? And then controller, this is more like the routes. Okay, cool. So we kind of have a general idea of, I think we know where we're going. So now the question that I'm asking is, I was just thinking about what equivalent to Express's EJS files would be. It sounds like it is the V in MVC, so the view, right up there. Okay. How would you suggest I expand my project to have all three of these things? So I want to be able to have a model, a view, and a controller. I want to be able to have all three because I'm trying to make my project more structured. And I say, like, I want to practice and understand. Like, that's my point. Okay. So, and then the second thing is, can you give me an example of dependency injection? So that's kind of just an understanding point. Let's put that in there and let it think. All right. So, EJS is a templating engine used in Express to render dynamic HTML. Okay? And yes, that's the view in MVC. Okay? So Spring Boot equivalent is Thymeleaf. Okay, interesting. Thymeleaf is a modern server-side Java template engine that integrates seamlessly with Spring Boot. It lets you write HTML pages with embedded expressions like, okay, paragraph, hello, span, something, text name, user, okay. So how to expand my project for the full MVC? We're going to have controller and then Greek controller. So that's what we already have. So we have this controller thing inside the demo. Yep. We need to create one called model and service and then have our demo application. So here's our demo application. Here's controller. So inside of this demo, I want to create one called model. And one of the questions that I'm going to ask is, can model actually be called models, like plural, or model J, or is this like a keyword that I can't change? And then greeting.java, okay. Side model, okay. Now service, greeting service.java. Greeting service.java. Okay. And then in source main resources, source main resources, okay? I want to create greeting.html. Okay. So inside of resources, HTML. Okay, cool. So just like how we normally do in these projects, the first thing that I'm going to try to accomplish is get something to work, anything to work, and then from that I will try to expand upon it and try to learn more from it. So let's get going. So this is model and column example demo model. Okay, so we are in here, and so we're going to be in here. So greeting, okay? Column example demo model. So it already set that up, and this class matches that name right there. But then we have a method in here. This should be like the constructor, right? And then we have a getter. Okay, so get name, okay? And we pass in the name, okay? Now inside of service, here, we have this greeting service, okay? All right, so we have that service. What's going on here is okay, I'm getting this annotation. Have my class here. Get greeting, string name. So this is just creating the message that I want to send, okay? So now controller, okay, whoa, there's a lot going on in this controller. Side of column example demo controller. But I already have that file, I believe. It's hello controller, right? So they want me to do this greeting controller, okay? Oh, whoops. Greeting controller is a Java file. Okay. And inside of here, we do that. This one is like blanked out. I don't know why that's the case, but I don't know if that's correct. Okay. So we have controller, and then we have this in the greeting.html. Okay. So now I should be able to run this, okay? I didn't get any errors, so that's nice. And now copy this over and let's see what we get. Okay, so we got an error. There's no explicit mapping. Let me... Okay. Get rid of that. That's just Swagger. This is for the other project. Okay. I need to get some coffee. Okay. Dependency injection is when Spring provides the objects your classes need, instead of you creating them manually. Okay. So, constructor injection. Service. Let me just go and see. This is the same thing, right? No, this is a different one. Okay, so this is just giving me a different example. So, I have a service, and it is, the class is user service, okay? Private final user repository, okay? Public, this method with, this is the type, this is the instantiation of it, okay? So the classes variable of user repository equals the passed in parameter, okay? Spring sees that user service, which is here or here, I'm not sure which one it's talking about, needs a user repository, so it injects it automatically. Here. Okay. Field injection. Service, public class, user service, auto wire, private user repository user. This works, but it's harder and okay. So manually injecting is configuration, public app, or public class app config. So I'm creating an app, or I'm creating a class, then I annotate bean, public greeting service here, function, and what that function does. Okay. And it says that Spring will inject this bean wherever greeting service here is needed. Okay, whatever. I think I'm a little bit like unsure about exactly what's going on with the beans. I'll look that up more later. The problem that I'm having right now is that we are not loading anything. Now when I press this, I did see some logic going on here. Oh, maybe I don't. Okay. So I know that we're running this, right? Yeah. Where's the thing that says like get mapping? Controller here, get mapping greet, okay. I'm guessing that I can have multiple controllers, right? I think I can. So string message. Add attribute name. Okay. Import com example demo model. Com example demo model. Did I misspell this or what? Greeting. Or is it saying that I didn't use it? What is this then? Setting the name and getting the name, okay. So I'm going to put this into Copilot. I'm also going to ask how do you print a console in Java? Also, how do you print to console in Java? Something white label error. Okay, what is a white label error? It is Spring Boot's default error page. You see it when you visit a URL that you don't have a controller for, or a typo. Okay, yeah. So, or I'm missing views in missing a view template. Okay. Something like this. So get mapping to greet. Yes, I do. Okay. Check my template. Source main resources. Templates greeting. Hold on. Did it say that in the past or me? Let me just try to refresh this. So I did see something there, but it's still not doing it. What if I did the full thing with HTTP? I don't think this is gonna do anything. Yeah, no. System.out print line. I just want to see if I hit this. System.out print line. The greet route has been hit. Okay. And I think I need to recompile everything again. Okay. 645. I'm gonna look. Okay. The greet route has been hit, so I am hitting this. I'm gonna check if the one up here actually told me to put this in. Okay, so it did tell me to put it in templates. I just didn't. Okay, whatever. So this one is outside of templates. I'm just going to delete it. Okay. For real world application, use Spring's logging system. Org, a whole bunch of nonsense, .logger, okay? Org, same nonsense, logger factory, okay? Then private static final logger. Okay. Logger factory get log. Oh my goodness. Okay. Then logger.info. Okay, we might look at that later, but that's not. So we got there. What if I do this again? Do I get that same thing once more? Okay, yes I do. So it is hitting it twice. Message. Okay, let's see if it gets the message. But I didn't restart things. Okay. So it does have the message. So I know that I'm interacting with those units correctly. So now model.add attribute. What is model? Comes from here. Okay. Model. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what is this? Get mapping, and then this is a function. Okay. And this is what I do in my function. So this is like the route. Yeah. And I pass in, and I have two parameters. But within this parameter, I have request parameter. I'm guessing that just gets the little question mark after the URL, right? And that stores it into name, and then model. So how do I get model? Alright, so I'm gonna ask it to explain this line of code more. Okay. This method signature is packed with Spring MVC magic, and understanding it will give you a greater grasp of how HTTP requests are handled in Spring Boot. Okay. So, this line here, this is a controller method that handles a web request. Okay. Public string greet. Public means that it's accessible to the Spring framework. Okay, good. String, the return type, meaning here. In Spring MVC returns a string, meaning render a view with this name. We'll return greeting.html. How? So maybe it just auto looks for that greeting. The method name can be anything, but it should be descriptive. Okay. Request param default value equals world string name. Okay, so this tells Spring look for a query parameter named name in the URL. So that is when we did here, name equals Timothy. Okay. Yeah, right there. And if there is no name, it just gets defaulted to world. So without request param, Spring wouldn't know how to bind the query parameter to the method. Okay. Model. Model is a Spring provided object that lets you pass data to the view, like a Thymeleaf template. You add attributes to it. Which is what we did here. Model.add attribute name goes. So now name should be filled up with my name. So I know that here is working. It's either I don't have a model or it's not rendering the correct. It's not finding that correct file. How can I know if my Java is finding the right model? I am getting the message printed as I expect. So I know everything up to that point is working. This makes me think that the issue is either my model is wrong or it can't find the greeting. All right. Your controller is being hit, your service is working, your logic is generating the correct message. Okay, so if you're still seeing white label 404, the issue is almost certainly with either the view name, your returning greeting, the location or structure of your greeting. Okay, so let's walk through this. I don't know why I feel low energy. Okay. So, where should greeting.html be? Spring Boot here expects your templates to be in source main resources template. Let me just make sure. Close all of this. Source. Go into here. Main. Go into here. Resources. Go into here. Templates. Okay, go into here. And this has my greeting.html. Okay? Yep. The file is named exactly greeting.html. Yes, it is. You know? It's not static or public. Those are raw HTML, not templates. Okay, whatever. What should be in here? I mean, I copy and pasted this, so I don't think it's going to be different. This will render the value of name best. Okay, sure. How to confirm the view is being resolved. You can add a debug log to confirm the view name is being returned. All right. Okay. Returning view greeting. Okay. Wait, but this is just like, I just hard coded that. Like, wait, what does that even help me do? Okay, if you want to go deeper, enable Spring's debug mode. If I did this, and then in templates, I did another one. Greeting2.html, and then I didn't do those other things. I don't know what I'm trying to do. Like this. I have no idea. Okay. All right, so I think I'm gonna leave it off right here. And then in the next video, maybe just try to go through this more and understand it. I'm not sure. I'm thinking it has to do something with the model or with mapping that greeting. This application has no explicit mapping for error. That's fine. I shouldn't be getting an error. So yeah, we'll be going through this to try to figure out why this is happening. Anyways, if you're interested in that, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys later.